If you make God laugh, he'll let you in.
He has got a soft spot for racial humor.
Oh, I just lapsed into some craft work for a second there.
I will eat your liver if you want me to, he said.
Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
Who is the leader of the Bro-Viet Union?
Broseph Stalin, obviously.
I don't get it. I mean, I do get it.
No, you definitely get it.
But I don't understand the origin of it.
The origin of it. Now, I will say I can't 100% take full credit because there's like a 50% chance that it's just drifted into my head and I stole it to annoy Everett.
Could be.
But it was used to annoy Everett because he said the word bro too many times.
You all remember Everett, don't you, podcast listeners? You remember Everett.
This was what I started calling him after I got tired of calling him Joe DiMaggio bro. He didn't appreciate any of them.
I'm going to go get the tea. I'm getting the tea.
All right.
Tea.
I don't...
Talk while I get the tea.
That's a pretty heavy order.
What?
That's a heavy order.
It hasn't clicked yet.
What hasn't clicked?
The tea hasn't clicked.
I don't know what that means. The tea hasn't clicked.
Oh, it clicked.
So I walked in today, and the first thing Justin said to me is, hey, I want tea, but I'm going to make you a special tea, and I'm going to do it on air.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So there's like a
I'm going to pour your water down.
75% shot that this is urine.
This is hot. Is it hot?
Yeah, it's a little warm.
A little warm? You need a
See, you gave me...
You need a barrier cup?
Well, you gave me one of these cups that typically has a sleeve with it.
Oh, yeah, let me get you something.
Ain't no sleeve.
I'm going to get you something.
I'm just saying if you were Panera, you'd get sued. And I wouldn't come back. He's gone to the other room.
Well,
Here we go.
It's a good thing I'm not Panera.
Your Yelp review would be very low. Oh, that's much better.
Can you get negative stars on Yelp?
In this case, yeah, I think they'd make an exception.
Lawsuits equal negative stars.
Yeah.
I think that works. Okay, so
there's a sizable paper bag here.
There is.
By the way, welcome to Sushi Jackknife.
Oh, right. Yes, welcome to Sushi Jackknife, everybody.
Okay, so you have a sizable paper bag. I have a cup of scalding hot water.
Indeed. I gotta get the right one. Hang on. Nathan. Scripture tea.
Scripture tea. It's green tea flavored.
Yeah, well, I also have orange pico if you prefer, but I know you like green tea, so I
do like green tea.
I kind of went for... I'm going to have orange pico. You have green.
What is a pico tea? Do we know?
It's a pico minus the T because the T moved to the front of the phrase.
Tea pico?
Yeah. Peacoat, like, you know.
Peacoat tea?
What the Beatles wore.
Tea peacoat.
Peacoats. So, here you go. Here's your scripture tea. I was at, do you know where this hails from?
No.
Can you imagine where this would come from? Where such a thing would come from?
Oh, that makes sense.
Read.
Winter Garden, Florida.
I was leaving the Cracker Barrel, the other day. And what did I see through the window of the door as I'm
elderly people eating?
Well, there was that.
Lots of elderly people eating.
This tea, you know what the thing is? This tea smells really cheap.
A child who had been dragged to Cracker Barrel against his will to eat with his elderly relatives.
No, that was my child.
Oh, okay.
Scripture tea. Saw it through the window. Didn't know it was real. Look on the back of your tea flag. Scripture tea. Scripturetea.com. Mine says, do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. And apparently that's from Ephesians 4:26 in the New International Version.
Oh.
What you got?
Mine is from Thessalonians. No, it's not.
Nice job, though. Nice job saying that word.
Matthew 11:28. It's abbreviated Matt 11:28, which I feel is just not quite formal enough.
Matt.
A little too familiar.
Matt.
Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Now, the green tea, I'm assuming, does have caffeine in it.
Indeed.
Then this is a very fitting scripture. I am weary. This tea will take care of me.
There you go. It's giving you rest.
Like the Lord, the tea will take care of me.
A variety of scriptures in each box, a different inspiring Bible verse on each tea tag, individually wrapped.
So here's a question I have.
Uh-huh.
On the scale of sacrilege,
Yes.
me making fun of this, compared to the person who is selling their tea
Correct.
only by putting scriptures on it,
Correct.
which one's more sacrilegious? Because I feel like gut instinct, I'm being more sacrilegious, but then I'm like, no, this is insane, and I'm making fun of the product.
That's exactly right. That I went through this same calculus in my head before I decided to bring you this today.
Right.
I was like, but is this like shitty of me? Because, I have respect for people's religion and stuff, right?
Right.
But,
No, Winter Park, Florida is the one who has been the worst here.
like all things that come from Florida.
Nothing good has ever come from Florida.
Pretty sure. Scripture verses quoted from. Wow, this is a lot of text. The Authorized King James Version, KJV. The Living Bible, TLB. Copyright 1971. How do you copyright a Bible? And the New Living Translation, NLT. Copyright 2013. Used by permission.
Wait. Does this mean we could write our own version of the Bible and copyright it?
We could. We could.
The old living version.
The no longer living version. The Zombie Bible.
No.
Oh.
The reliving version?
There you go. The Living Dead version.
You know what?
I like
this
this
tea,
one.
not great. I mean, it works. It's tea.
The orange pico isn't bad. But then again, it's been a while since I've had orange pico. So I don't
Orange
have much.
peacoat.
Peacoat. Yeah.
Peacoat.
Yeah. Peacoat.
Now,
What did I say?
what is an orange peacoat? I mean, I know, like, if you had a peacoat that was orange, what it would be.
Well, that's all I know.
I've never had orange peacoat tea.
That's all I know. For a perfect cup of tea, bring fresh water to a boil. Holy water not recommended.
Oh, come on.
I wish it actually said that.
Oh, come on.
Place 1 tea bag in a cup. Pour 8 fluid ounces of water over the tea bag. Steep
And
for
bless
three,
it.
Yeah. Steep for 3 to 4 minutes or to taste.
Bring to your local congregation and have them lay hands.
Apparently, this is cut black tea. Cut black. Warm your spirit with scripture tea. Oh my God. That's fuck you guys. Fuck you guys that make scripture tea. Warm your spirit. Come on.
But
Come
you know
on.
what? You paid for it.
I did.
So now here's the question.
Yeah.
On the scale of sacrilege.
We just keep going with this, don't we? On the scale of sacrilege.
Now, obviously,
yes.
we've
Yes.
decided that the Scripture Tea Company of Winter Park, Florida, way worse than me.
Of course.
However, you're supporting the Scripture Tea Company
did.
of Winter Park, Florida.
I did. That's what I did.
Is this on you?
It's a little bit. It's a little bit on me.
Like when you get to those pearly gates,
Yeah.
are they going to go?
Boy, that is good.
It was like you did okay. There's this time you went to Cracker Barrel. Though. You could have bought anything. They had nostalgic 50s candies.
They did.
They had a variety of mediocre country western albums. They had large checkers. Very large checkers. But you chose the Scripture Tea, banished to hell.
In order to make fun of it too.
Yeah. Well, no, they're okay with the making fun.
Right, because we're being. That's right. We've established this. My level of righteousness edges above Winter Park, Florida.
Yeah.
In this scenario, but yeah, I did invest in this. However, Cracker Barrel not sold it. I would have
So
never
it's
known it
Cracker
existed.
Barrel.
I think it's Cracker Barrel's fault.
Okay. I feel like this product, you know the story where Jesus went into the temple and there
Yes.
were all the people selling a variety. It was essentially like a mall.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like this is so ridiculous that he would have been flipping tables over and gotten to that table and just had to pause for a second to take in how insane this product was.
Yes, exactly.
Then flipped it and moved on.
Exactly that. I've often thought, in regards to that story, that Jesus was just pissed that the Cracker Barrel kiosk was closed.
It turns out that whole story was actually in a Cracker Barrel gift shop.
Someone should write something where Jesus comes back. Now, you got to do a little legwork here, you know.
This could be in your copyrighted version of the Bible.
Oh, I like this. So, by the way, have you ever read the book Illusions by Richard Bach?
No.
It's a fantastic book. Go read it, everybody.
You're not the boss of me.
It's a suggestion. It's called Illusions.
Illusions or illusions? Illusions, not
illusions,
not allusions.
Not Al's
illusions.
Illusions, yeah. Something, I think it's The Adventures of a Reluctant Messiah, something like that. Anyway,
Okay.
so scene 1, act 1, right? Act 1, scene 1.
Uh-huh.
Not a screenwriter. Jesus is in heaven talking to somebody. Maybe not God. Let's save God for later.
Richard Pryor.
Great.
How he got in there, I don't know.
He was...
Apparently the rules are a little bit loosey-goosey on some things.
If you make God laugh, he'll let you in.
He has got a soft spot for racial humor.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
I do like this idea, though, of him talking to Richard Pryor.
Uh-huh.
So he's in heaven talking to Richard Pryor. Somehow they get around to something, some impetus causes Jesus to have to come back, right? To now. Let's set it in 2017. Jesus comes back to now. And at some point, he has to go to a Chick-fil-A and be really pissed that it's closed on Sunday.
Well, naturally.
Yeah. He has to rage against that for some reason.
You know what I just thought is strange?
Yeah.
The company that sells Scripture tea, not closed on Sunday.
No. Yeah.
The company that just sells fried chicken, closed on Sunday.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
I'm just saying Chick-fil-A may be holier than Cracker Barrel.
In the pantheon of holy corporations.
Yeah. If we're ranking holy corporations, Hobby Lobby was ahead of them.
That's true.
But then they got fined for smuggling cuneiform tablets into the United States.
Did that happen?
Yeah, that happened yesterday.
Oh my God!
So,
the ancient form of writing, cuneiform, like from Mesopotamia.
Yep,
Hobby Lobby did that?
Yeah, they smuggled them in from the Middle East. They now no longer have them, and they got fined by the government.
What?
Yeah. So obviously,
fantastic.
Obviously, theft knocks you down on the holy corporation scale.
It must. That's
like you're definitely not at the top.
It's a direct violation of a commandment.
Right.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that they have an issue with providing birth control because of their religious rights, but theft is fine.
Yeah.
Theft that gets them fined $1 million+ is fine. Whatever.
Double standard much?
Yeah. So Chick-fil-A is above. Yeah. Like above everyone.
Right.
And then Cracker Barrel. Mm-hmm. And then below Cracker Barrel, I'm gonna put Hobby Lobby.
I think that's fair. Mm-hmm. Given the current state of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Scripture Tea Company comes somewhere at the bottom.
Yeah.
25th, 27th.
Scripture Tea is right below all of the Christian bookstores in the world. Mostly because they rely far too much on Thomas Kincaid. Just way too much Thomas Kincaid in there. Way too much precious moments in Thomas Kincaid. Yeah, branch out.
Right.
There are other things in the world. You don't have to have that and T-shirts that are puns.
By the way, KFC and Popeyes and Church's Chicken all rank above the Christian bookstores because of their service for funerals.
Yeah, it's good.
They're very giving to grieving families.
There you go.
You know, provided you exchange cash with them.
Well, I mean, that's the same as all of the others, but they haven't committed any sort of smuggling crimes.
Jesus is knocking over the chicken counters, the money changers, the chicken changers. I think we got a movie here, a short film.
Okay.
Who do we know who could play Jesus?
I don't know it.
Probably not one of our pastors.
No. I would recommend our friend Zach, but he's recently shaved.
Hi, Zach.
He's shaven and haircut.
We know that you're listening.
Which is very un-Christ-like.
Indeed.
I mean, appearance-wise.
Right. We should get someone who's actually from that neck of the woods.
Heaven?
Well, yeah. No. We should get I'm searching for an ethnicity here. I mean, technically, Jesus is Jewish. So we should get a Jewish person.
Yeah, or like Korean.
Anything. Really.
Korean Jesus would be nice.
I mean, there was a guy at some point who purported to be Jesus returning.
Oh, there's several of those.
Well, he was Korean, though.
Oh, really?
There was a Korean guy specifically.
I saw I don't know if you've ever seen the show. It got canceled on CNN because the guy called Donald Trump names on Twitter.
No.
But it was called Believer.
No, I didn't see the show.
And it was a guy who went and visited all these different religious sects of different
cool.
things.
That's cool.
And one of them was a cult-ish cult. It was a cult.
It was a cult.
In Hawaii,
Okay.
where there was a person who called himself Jesus Christ with a K, just to differentiate himself.
Gotcha.
So that guy was fun.
A lot like corn.
Yeah, exactly. That was his main inspiration.
So first name Jesus, last name Christ with a K?
Yeah.
Wow.
If I remember correctly, that was it. Yeah.
That's something there. That's something.
I feel like if he's going to do that, he needs to spell Jesus like Geesus.
I like that.
Yeah.
Or with a Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
You don't want to step on Kanye's toes.
Jesus.
I like it though. I like this idea. Is that tree? Is that tree? Is that tea? Whoa!
It's fine.
I can't say the sentence. Is that tea treating you any better?
It's fine.
It's
tea.
Do you want to try mine?
I mean,
I got a little thing in my throat, but don't be concerned about that.
well, I don't. What kind of thing are we talking? Like, you have a cold or you have a tumor? Because tumors aren't contagious.
It's thing one from the Dr. Zeus books.
Okay, cool.
He's gonna jump out any minute. I think the Pico is better. I really do.
Oh, that's so much better.
So much better. I mean, I haven't even.
No, this
haven't
is
even
just
tried
generic
yours.
green tea
Yeah,
flavor.
this is nice.
Like, have you ever had a generic green tea?
Absolutely, I have.
Yeah.
The foundation of this show is generic green tea.
Well, this is that. So it does not taste any better than any other green tea.
indeed,
However,
indeed, my friend, indeed.
it also does not taste any worse.
There you go.
It's right there.
It's hitting the sweet spot. You got any news?
Oh man, do I have news?
There's a lot. You mentioned Korea. It's hard not to think about Korea at this particular moment in time.
Well, that's not the news I have.
Okay. You have
Well,
other
first,
news.
the most important news of the week.
Okay.
Kansas City Royals third baseman Mike Moustakas will be playing in the All-Star game.
Oh, good.
And competing in the American League team in the Home Run Derby.
Well, fantastic.
So
that's fantastic.
that's the most important news. Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay. What else you got?
No, that's it.
Okay.
No, I have other things.
Okay. I'm hoping you do.
So you might remember a fella by the name of Rick Perry. You remember Rick Perry?
Oh, absolutely. I remember him.
Okay. So I want to read you something here from today. Rick Perry was at a coal plant.
Coal plant?
Yeah. I mean, which makes sense. That kind of fits with what he does.
He is indeed the Secretary of Energy.
Yes. This is his quote. I want you to tell me what's wrong with this quote.
Okay.
Here's a little economics lesson.
Uh-oh.
Supply and demand. Mm-hmm. You put the supply out there, and the demand will follow.
That is the most double speak bullshit I've ever heard. That is so... Nathan. Thank you, politics. That is so... Oh, my God. That is an inverse of a basic economic tenant.
By the way, I have this rule. Mm-hmm. And this ties into this rule. Let me tell you the story that brought this rule out.
Okay.
On my blog, many, many, many moons ago, I wrote an article, a post, whatever, about how everyone who backs into parking places are the worst people on the planet.
I remember this.
Okay.
I read this.
And every so often, someone gets infuriated by this. I stand by it.
Yes.
But they get very upset.
Sure.
So a couple weeks ago, I had a guy go off on me, telling me I was a moron.
Uh-oh.
His exact first sentence was, "You're a moron." And then a whole list of reasons.
Okay.
However, "You're a moron" was Y-O-U-R, a moron.
Wait, he did this online. He didn't do this in person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He commented on your blog.
Right.
Gotcha.
So,
Your old blog post. That's
Yeah.
pretty old.
yeah, it's like 3 years old at
Yeah.
least. So the first sentence is calling me a moron, and the first word in the first sentence was incorrect.
Okay.
If you're going to imply that you know something that other people don't know, maybe make sure you have things correct. Just make sure, throw that into Word. If you get the squiggles, look at why it's squiggling.
Under the word?
Yeah.
Under the word?
Yeah, if you get the red squiggle or the blue squiggle, the green squiggle sometimes shows up. Don't know what it means. Ignore it. But just throw it in there. Look. Oh, I put the wrong "your." Correct it. Okay. In this situation, Rick Perry said, let me teach you a lesson, and then proceeded to be wrong.
Oh, at 100% wrong.
It would have been bad if he had just said it, but he
So-
had like a smug sentence before it.
Right.
Like, hey, I know some stuff. If you have a whole bunch of coal, people are going to pay so much money for that.
I don't know if y'all know this, but I was almost the Secretary of Economics. I don't know if that exists, but I almost was it.
So, the secretary of math and stuff.
Right. Number guy. I'm Trump's number guy. Number one. That's me.
Yeah. So if you're
RP.
the lesson here is if you're going to start anything off with,
Yeah.
here's a little blank lesson.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank with whatever. Make sure what follows is in the ballpark.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be right. Just not
Believable.
wildly incorrect.
100%
Just not the opposite of
Right.
correct.
Exactly. The thing about that is, I mean, what he's getting at there, and that little statement. I mean, it's pretty widely known at this point that the coal industry is dying.
Yeah.
It's sad for people who have those gigs or those jobs, and those jobs are going to go away. They're already going away, I think.
Yeah.
And those plants are going to shut down. And the reason is primarily natural gas has gotten cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
Due to fracking, I believe.
Amongst other things.
Amongst other
It's
things.
just easier to get natural gas now.
Right. It's easier to get natural gas now. Renewables play a role there too, but not as much as natural gas. Natural
Right.
gas is what's really driving it down. So coal is going away regardless, which in the large picture, I mean, again, I feel bad for those people, but in the large picture of things, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because natural gas burns a lot cleaner than coal.
And coal, it's a very dangerous
To get.
profession.
Correct.
It's the other thing is they're automating everything.
Right.
Why? Because lawsuits suck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, and I did hear the other day that and I've heard this before, I don't know where it comes from, but I've heard it several times. The largest growing profession in the U.S. is like wind turbine technician.
I believe it.
Wind turbine
They're
technician.
throwing them up everywhere.
I not here, so I guess I don't
well,
see
no,
them, but
but out
west.
Like if you drive through Oklahoma someday,
Yeah.
there's not much to see.
Right.
But there's a lot of wind turbines. There's wind turbines
fantastic.
and dirt
That's great. I mean, when I went through Arizona and New Mexico a few years ago, I saw them everywhere.
and unwashed people.
No one out there is drinking scripture tea because they are not.
No, I would assume that everyone out there is drinking scripture tea. They probably just ice it and put 4 cups of sugar in each serving.
Are you saying you can go down to your local, pie wagon and get a cup of scripture tea?
Oh, yeah.
A nice steaming cup.
I can't. I mean, it's an issue I have here, too. But when I visit my family in Oklahoma, everything is sweet tea. Like it's all iced tea and sweet tea. And I don't really like iced tea. I really, really hate. I despise sweet tea.
That's interesting.
It's disgusting to me. So I end up drinking water, and it makes people look at me like I'm a freak when I'm there.
Yeah, because no one drinks water.
Like, what's he drinking?
Right.
What's he drinking over there?
I've never seen anything so clear before. No, I know you
Hey,
mean.
your tea looks real weak.
Somebody, Mama, add some concentrate to Nathan's tea.
And when I say this, I need to be nice. This is for the outlying areas of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Not Oklahoma City, not Tulsa.
What is that?
They have other beverages.
What is that, Gatorade Ice? I haven't had that in a while.
But when I go visit my family out by the Panhandle, especially if we go out to eat, every restaurant you walk into is like the old small town cafe, and you open the door and it's got the little bell up at the top. Yeah.
Ding, ding.
And when the bell rings, every old man who is in there for 5 hours a day,
Right.
because I guess they don't do anything else, turns and stares at you until you sit down at a table. So I've already drawn attention to myself.
Right. So you're a real weirdo.
Yeah. That guy's
water.
not wearing a trucker cap. What's he doing?
Water. You know it's not clean, right?
It probably is not.
It comes out and it's the same color as the sweet tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually, they don't even make tea.
Right.
They just fill a pitcher
the
with
tap.
water and throw sugar in it to stomach what it is. So.
Can I tell you that despite the judgment and the staring at people, I dream of someday being one of those old men.
Why?
I don't know. I just like the idea of sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. I just like the idea of going to a little
Well, let's practice
diner
here.
every
Let's
morning.
practice here.
Okay.
So one of the big things you have to be able to do is talk about the fish you caught.
Uh-oh. I fail there.
Well, you don't have to have actually ever caught a fish. They're all lying.
Gotcha.
Every
That's
one of
true.
them is
They
lying.
They are lying.
So, go ahead
Okay.
and give your best fish story.
I caught so I was out in my boat one day.
Okay. Good start.
Just after a rainstorm.
I mean, we need more description on the rainstorm.
It was a real heavy rainstorm.
No.
No.
No, you have to paint a picture with your words.
I'm trying.
It was pouring. It was pouring cats and dogs.
It was actually pouring birds and fish, which is very rare.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have their attention now. They've looked up from their pie.
It was pouring birds and fish.
Don't blow it.
And, but I said, I've got to go out anyway. I got to go. I got to go. And I fished and fished and fished. And you know what? The biggest bass you've ever seen, a 20-pound bass, fell out of the sky and right into my boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
A few notes.
Okay.
First off, in the story, no one fishes and fishes and fishes. It's, let me tell you, I put that bait right on there and I cast. Immediately, something bit it. I had a bite. So, you don't want...
All right.
I would, before you even cast the bait out,
Gotcha.
the fish just jumped right into that boat.
Okay.
There you go.
I was putting a worm on the hook. And before I could even do it, that fish must have smelled that worm. Because it jumped straight out of the water and into my arms.
You're cradling the fish.
I'm cradling the fish.
20-pound bass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it lay there real gentle like.
Whoa-wee! See, that's good. That's the
good?
reaction you want.
There we go. Okay.
You
Thank
heard that, Delmar?
Thank you for coaching me through this.
There's always someone named Delmar.
Oh, yeah.
Delmar.
Chuck.
Yeah, so you're prepped now. Now you can retire.
Great. Okay, good. And I'm just going to drink the same wheat coffee day in, day out.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. I wonder how hydrated they are.
Oh, terrible. Oh,
Like-
well, you can look and see that they're not.
Their pee probably comes out chunky. They never have water. It's always coffee. It comes out brown.
That's gross.
Yeah,
real
it is.
gross.
Yeah. Well, that's your future.
Oh,
Just be prepared.
Maybe I'd want to do something else.
Yeah.
instead. Maybe I'd do. Let's talk about the North Korea thing.
North Korea!
A little bit. 'Cause
North Korea!
I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I'm ill-informed. I'm ill-informed.
What do you know?
I know there was another missile test.
They do that a lot.
They do that a lot. Mm-hmm. I know that this one went okay compared to the last one.
Yes. According to...
North Korea.
Well, according to our experts,
Oh.
it was a missile that has the possibilities of possibly reaching the United States.
There you go. And then
It's a different type than they've been... I don't know if they were testing and they went, oh, well, that one's not going to work. And they just completely scrapped it and started over. Or if those were decoys. Or maybe they're testing 900 different missile types. But according to what I read, it was a different missile type.
Okay, than the one previous.
I don't know much about missiles.
Like Baskin-Robbins, North Korea has 52 flavors of missiles.
52?
How many flavors do they have?
I don't know.
Not 50,
I don't feel like that's right, but...
whatever. And then I know that the president, at the moment,
Yeah.
said some very vague and vaguely threatening things.
Yeah. He's done that a few times.
Yeah, a few times.
Coincidentally, usually it's about like a week before North Korea tests another missile.
Interesting. Curious and curiouser.
It's like, hey, we got to do something about North Korea. They're really bad. That's the sound of their missile.
It does sound
Firing
like
off.
that. No.
Sploosh. Because it's always in the ocean. So it doesn't explode. It just goes sploosh.
It does sploosh. Yeah.
Sploosh.
I wonder what that's doing.
Now, if they fire it at the United States, it's not going to sploosh.
No.
It's going to kaboom. That's how a Korean missile would sound. Kaboom.
Like a lot of little voices of well, not that they're little, but I was thinking about like cartoon
Well, I mean,
characters.
Kim Jong-un is little.
There you go.
He's a little tiny fella.
Don't you?
He's like a pocket-sized dictator.
I'm the operator with my pocket calculator. Boop, 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 doo, boop, 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 boop. That's not it at all.
What is happening here?
With me?
Yeah.
Oh, I just lapsed into some craft work for a second there. Yeah, something about
That-
pocket sized
I
made me think about pocket calculator. Which is
will,
a classic
I'll
track.
take your word for it.
Okay, you don't know the craft work?
No, not at all.
No, I do a little bit.
I choose to listen to music that makes my ears happy.
Aw, well, good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Is North Korea wants to kill us,
Yeah.
or at least wants to give us the impression that they want to kill us.
Right.
And we have decided the best tactic there is to go, hey, don't you do that. We're going to get you.
Well, that's what we've been doing for a long time.
Yeah, and it really seems to be working. We're at a nice stalemate, actually. Yeah. They don't bomb us because they can't figure it out. And we, in turn, just vaguely threaten them.
I do remember a lot of efforts by the Obama administration to try to get something worked out. And I know we're always kind of trying to leverage China in that relationship there as well. And also, I mean, if you're Japan, you're probably worried because you're a hell of a lot closer.
That's more of the issue. In fact, I don't know how much we're concerned about our safety, but Japan is an ally.
Correct.
As is South Korea. So they're like really close, especially that South Korea where they could just like take the nuke over to the border and just like toss it. Just toss it over to the other side.
It's true.
I mean, they'd have to run really quick.
It might take a few people to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
but
a group of like 5 people toss the nuke
5?
and run. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a light nuke.
I'll accept 5.
It's a light nuke. It's
Lanuke.
Yeah.
La
I mean,
nuke.
they don't have full-size nukes yet.
La nuke is on fire. We don't need the water. Let the mother burn.
I would like to find out,
Odd song.
just because it seems like something Kim Jong-un would do,
Okay.
find out that these missiles have like they have no nuclear technology
Right,
whatsoever. They're essentially like the craft rocket sets that you can get, but bigger.
Yeah.
He's like, this'll trick them. Just start shooting these off.
Or he like has an affinity for fish, and so he's like putting fish food in them because he knows they'll end up in the ocean. There's a lot of happy clownfish.
Those are happy fish now. Yay.
Yay! Or maybe he fills them with candy like a piñata.
That would be the happiest missile ever.
I think it would be a happy missile.
So speaking of dictators,
Let's speak of them.
crazy world leaders, I guess technically he's not a dictator.
Okay.
But, the Philippine president.
Oh, this guy.
Rodrigo Duterte.
Duterte, yes.
Duterte.
Oh, my goodness.
So I know he's a bad person.
He's not a good guy.
We're not fans.
We're not fans of him.
However,
Okay. What are you about to say?
he slightly won me over today just because this is the funniest thing a world leader has ever said since he called Obama the son of a whore. So there's a growing ISIS contingent near him now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've moved.
In the Philippines?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if it's in the Philippines, but it's near the Philippines. It's an island nearby.
Okay. They have an island?
Yes.
There's an ISIS island?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
a fun
here are
island.
his quotes
Okay.
when speaking about ISIS militants.
This is Duterte, not Nathan.
No, I could never come up with anything this great.
Okay.
This is totally Duterte.
Okay.
I will eat your liver if you want me to, he said.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, he's coming in hot.
Whoa.
Okay, so that's a hot start here.
Let's break
You're
it
like,
down.
that's a pretty hot take.
Yeah.
That's a hot take, Duterte.
It is.
Clearly, you don't mean that.
It's a little odd that he said, if you want me to.
Yeah. Give me salt and vinegar, and I'll eat it in front of you.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Wow. Holy shit.
So at this point, you're like, well, he may not be bluffing because he did already pick condiments and seasoning for the ISIS militants' livers.
It's like he's done this before.
So,
Wow.
and just in case you thought he was joking, I eat everything. I am not picky. I eat even what cannot be swallowed.
Okay.
So, so obviously, we still don't like Duterte.
Oh, no, we don't.
He doesn't do good things.
Well, the main thing he's doing that I know of right now, he's rounding up people who use drugs in the Philippines and murdering them by the thousands, I think.
Yeah, he's chosen an interest. It's like Nancy Reagan's Just Say No.
Right.
Except his is just say no or I will slaughter you and your family.
Yes.
It's not as catchy.
Right. Right.
It's more effective. I will give him that.
Oh, extremely effective.
It will cut down on drug use.
At least in the short term. At least in the short term. I think arguably more people are going to end up taking drugs because they're terrified
Right.
that they're going to die.
But in the short term, I would say it's more effective.
I'm sure.
But maybe now he's shifting his attention to cannibalism.
Yeah. On terrorists. Well, I mean,
Is vinegar and salt, like, are those the best choices for a
liver?
human liver?
I imagine so.
He
I don't
didn't say
know.
anything about cooking it either.
There's a lot of bile in there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure bile doesn't taste nice. So you
No.
need something strong to overcome the bile.
Well, hopefully he's washing that out.
Well, you would think, but who knows? If it's fresh, it's fresh.
I mean, I guess that's true.
If he is literally jumping on terrorists and ripping out their livers and consuming
And then
them.
making them sit down while he sits down at a table.
Yeah.
Because the way he says this, he's not just like grabbing it
No,
and
no.
shoveling it in his mouth.
Uh-uh.
Duterte is putting this liver on a plate
Yeah.
and just gently slicing off pieces.
He's enjoying it.
Yeah. He's taking his time.
If he's gonna
he
do
eats
it-
everything.
He eats everything, even things that can't be eaten.
I don't even know what that means.
Someone brings him an airplane and he's like, this can't be eaten.
Challenge accepted.
And this is how he dies.
Bolt by bolt.
Somewhat. There you go. There you go. Rex Tillerson, if you can hear me, challenge Duterte to eat something that can't be eaten. Oh, I brought 4 gallons of rat poison. That can't be eaten.
Oh, yeah?
Problem solved. This is why Trump loves this guy, because he's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Trump.
That makes Trump look like a fairly rational person.
It does. Well, and he also just admires us. Trump wants to be able to say crazy bullshit like that. He says enough bullshit, but he wants to say really crazy bullshit.
Yeah.
You know? And he probably, if he could, would want to round up people. I don't know if he would kill people. He seems to have a little bit of heart towards at least children. I mean, that's why he shot those missiles off.
I don't think he thinks far enough ahead to try to kill entire groups of people.
Yeah.
Like,
it's in the moment.
He would go, we're going to kill all those people. And then he'd go, something shiny, and run off. And we'd forget all about it. Twitter, man!
He really might want to kill Stephen Colbert, though.
Well, yeah.
He really might want to eat his liver.
If there is one person on the planet.
Right.
If there are two, it's Colbert and Seth Meyers.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's one, it's just Colbert.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Oh, and Alec Baldwin, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the issue there is Alec Baldwin, he could slip into his Trump character. And then if the Secret Service is in the room, it's going to be one of those situations where they don't know who's the real Trump.
It's me. Choose me. Choose me.
No, I'm definitely the real Trump. I don't know. I'm pretty spectacular.
The other thing that might happen in that scenario is Trump might actually like him once he met him, because it's like, I can finally talk to myself.
Well, and I will say that Trump says bad things about everyone.
Yeah.
But then every time he meets them,
he
comes away going, oh, they're great.
Yeah.
They're great people.
And people remember meeting him and him being very nice to them.
It turns out he's not good at separating news about people from actual human beings.
Correct. Well, and the thing is, I don't want to go too far into this, but I think part of the thing is, at the end of the day, he wants to be liked.
Oh, he does.
Right? He wants attention and he wants to be liked.
All?
So he manipulates the media. We do. He manipulates the media by saying outlandish things.
Yes.
Part of that, by the way, is him, but I'm pretty sure some of the people in his camp are just happy that he does that, because he's a constant distraction from everything else that's going on.
And they egg him on.
They egg him on, sure they do.
You saw the whole thing with the Morning Joe people.
Yeah. Now, you have to break this down for me, because I tend not to pay attention to... I try not to pay attention to that. So,
let me pull up the actual... I don't want to misquote.
Let's
supreme leader. It's going to take me a minute, because he's a prolific tweeter.
It's okay. Indeed he is.
Let's see.
Oh, the rain just started.
Stock market prices. There's him punching CNN. Fake and fraudulent news. Blah, 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 blah. Happy Canada Day. That's a confusing one to throw in there. Let's see.
So,
well,
I can't get the image out of my head of Trump calling Duterte and Duterte being like, "Hey, you want to come down and eat a couple livers?
Want to come for dinner?
Want to come for dinner?"
I'm not going to.
It's fine. You
find
the actual tweet. Yeah,
the exact quotes here.
Right.
So he randomly.
Oh my God! Your phone.
How it happens. Tweeted about Mika.
Yeah, Mika,
Joe Scarborough.
Yeah.
I don't know Mika's last name. I don't like MSNBC. I'm going to start by saying that.
No, we know.
So someone going after MSNBC doesn't annoy me.
Right.
The way he did it and who he is annoys me.
Correct.
Went after Mika and and Joe Scarborough, calling Joe Scarborough something, but calling Mika low IQ Mika.
Oh.
Telling this whole story about how they were down at Mar-a-Lago, whatever,
Mar-a-Lago.
around New Year's and wanted to join him, and he said no. And Mika was still bleeding from a facelift.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Still bleeding from a facelift.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's intense.
So most of the world heard this and went, hey, you know how you got elected to be president?
Right.
Maybe since that happened, let's not do that.
Could you stop being a dick?
Yeah, I mean, maybe just
Publicly?
a little less dickishness.
Yeah.
Just a tiny bit. Just bring it down.
Indeed.
However, on the other hand, the right-wing media,
Yeah.
the people who love him,
Right.
the Sean Hannitys of the world, and further right,
Oh, God.
Sean Hannity to the right,
Tough to imagine.
all went, we think you should tweet more. Yeah! And so, he kept tweeting.
Oh, no. They cheered him on.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So he tweeted about them again, and then he tweeted the whole GIF with CNN getting punched in the face.
Oh, yeah,
Which,
yeah.
by the way, what layer of hell are we in where a president can create any sort of internet viral thing of them actually at WrestleMania? Participating in WrestleMania.
Correct.
Like, they didn't film anything. The only editing that was there was they put the CNN logo
Yeah.
over someone's face.
Yeah.
That's not right.
No, there should be no film existing of presidents at WrestleMania.
Not at WrestleMania, not near WrestleMania, not saying anything that rhymes with WrestleMania.
Pennsylvania?
Yeah, no, don't say it. And just mention specific cities and move on.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania City. Oops. Is that a place?
It's not good.
It's not good.
So the people to the far right of Hannity, I'm considering Hannity now the dividing line. It used to be Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
But Bill O'Reilly wanted to rub falafel all over boobs. So he's gone.
He's gone.
You can't offer to rub falafel on people's breasts if they don't want that to happen.
Right.
In a professional environment.
Correct.
In your personal life, I mean,
Whatevs.
don't do it. But
Right.
I mean, you whatever. So now Sean Hannity's the dividing line. The people to the left of him watch him and go, I mean, he's got some points. And when I say left, I mean Republicans to the left.
Correct. Yeah. Central-ish.
The people to the right agree with him 100% of the time, but sometimes feel like maybe he's being a little bit too soft on things.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Right.
So everyone on that side wants more of this.
Okay.
And everyone else in America wants to leave.
Yeah, indeed. No kidding we do. No kidding we do.
Yeah.
To divert us away from news.
News!
This is something I wanted to share with you a while ago. This is so a coworker friend of mine, a much older guy.
What's his name?
He's sort of a sage. His name is Bob.
Bob Sage.
That's very good. I like that.
Bob Sage.
Bob Sage brought. We have a turntable here at the studio, as most studios probably do.
Yeah,
these
I mean,
days.
that would make sense.
Right, for playing of recorded material.
Yeah.
He brings in a record the other day. He had been building it up for weeks. He's like, yeah, this crazy record that I bought when I was a kid that I'm going to bring you guys to listen to, okay? And I'm like, all right. And he is such a straight dude. He's like, so, he worked at the same place for many, many years, has a couple kids, has been, a nice, successful family guy for a long time. But back in the day, he was a psychedelic rocker, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So he brings us this record, which he has built up to be the trippiest record he's ever heard. Bought it on a whim at a record store when he was a kid. The record is by a guy named Mort Garson, and it's called The Wozard of Iz. I'm going to play a little bit of it for you here.
The Wozard.
Not the Wizard of Oz.
Right,
The
no.
Wozard
He spoonerized
of
that.
Iz. Indeed he did. This record is done entirely on Moog synthesizer, except for the voices that you'll hear. So all the percussion and everything is Moog.
This makes me unhappy.
Oh, it's intense. Let's skip ahead just a little. Just giving you guys some background though. Go look this up on YouTube. You can find it.
Riots, 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 says the scarecrow. Berkeley, Columbia, the Gaulle, peace, murder, says the scarecrow. Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston, New York Mets, and Waller, Humphreys.
Did he just shout out the New York Mets?
He did.
Oh, okay.
Mass media, take off your mask. We want to see your face. God is dead, says the scarecrow.
Mass media, take off your mask. We want to see your face. I mean, that kind of ties in nicely with.
What year was this from?
God, I think like 69. I want to say.
Okay.
Let's find a little background on it.
Well, that
makes
would-
sense, right? Makes
Well,
sense.
with the Mets shout out that would make.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
That's
the Mets.
that's the Miracle Mets.
Oh, gotcha. Here's some track names for you. There's the prologue. Then there's Leave the Driving to Us, Upset Strip, Never Follow the Yellow Green Road, Thing-a-Lang, in quotations, Scarecrow, In Ma'am, Man with the Word, in quotations, Lying Coward, They're Off to Find the Wozard, Blue Poppy, I've Been Over the Rainbow, Big Sur, Killing of the Witch, and Finale. You find some info?
Oh no, I was looking up the 1969
Okay,
Mets.
tell me about the 1969 Mets.
They won the World Series.
Oh,
That's
great.
all you
Okay.
need to know.
Look up the Wozard of Iz. Let's get a little background if we can.
Wozard of Iz.
W-O, yeah. Here's some Killing of the Witch, guys. Oh. Now, I don't know if that's creepy to you at all. It's fairly creepy for me. And I guess the only reason I'm really bringing this up is just, you know, if you're wanting to freak your head out a little bit, try putting on that record. You finding anything?
Garson died of renal failure.
Oh no, sorry, Mort.
So
Anything else?
there's not a lot about this album.
All right.
It's another collaboration between Garson and Wilson. Jacques Wilson.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think he wrote the words. I just found this. This is another record Mort worked on from 1976 called Plantasia, as in plants. Plantasia. This is actually very nice.
I'm gonna be honest.
Ooh.
I think
Wow, that's beautiful.
I think Mort was a weirdo.
Well, it could be. You find some pictures of him?
No, but let me give you some other discographies here.
Okay.
Some other albums from
Hit
his
me.
discography.
Hit me.
Let's see. The Beatles Songbook Volume 5, which is right before this. I
Okay.
find that to be interesting.
The Beatles Songbook Volume 5. Okay.
I'm assuming he's playing Beatles songs.
He must have, yeah.
And then from there, immediately jumps into electronic hairpieces and the Wozard of Iz.
Nice. Was that right? Was it 69?
68.
Ah.
So it was actually before the Miracle Mets.
So he predicted.
Which it's a, maybe he's a prophet.
Maybe.
Baseball prophet.
There you go.
Signs of the Zodiac.
Okay.
A film soundtrack for Didn't You Hear?
I didn't.
Didn't You Hear?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear it.
Of course, next was Black Mass Lucifer.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
So, and then after 1976, he just kind of disappeared.
There's
from
Plantasia.
Wikipedia.
This is Plantasia. And the cover
that was 1976 on Homewood Records.
Homewood Records.
Homewood.
Mother Earth's Plantasia. Warm earth music for plants and the people who love them. That's nice. There you go. Yeah, I brought that up just because it was so odd and creepy and disturbing.
This is an interesting factoid about him.
Yeah.
It was used as incidental music during the television transmission of the Apollo 11 manned moon landing.
What?
Yeah.
The Wozard of Iz was?
No, his music.
Oh, some of his music.
Yeah, because the only sounds that go along with space travel are electronic ones.
Indeed. Moog synthesizers.
Although I feel like they haven't dated well.
And other synthesizers.
Yeah.
As well. Mm-hmm. Well, there's your little musical tidbit for the week.
And then he died of renal failure.
Any quick hits?
Nah.
No quick hits?
No, I was so focused on
No.
eating ISIS livers.
I think that is fair. I think that's fair.
I had to look it up many times to make sure that this wasn't that fake news they're always talking about. You know, the kids are always talking about that fake news.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that fake news. So this is the sound of me opening another pack of scripture tea. Being a bit wasteful here because I don't really intend to drink it, but I did want to leave you guys with this random quote from the Bible from Scripture Tea, care of Winter Garden, Florida. Oh, you can write them, by the way.
Yeah, no, they give you the full address and everything.
Timeless Teas and Treasures Incorporated. They have a P.O. Box. Get ready for this, guys. P.O. Box 783-486, Winter Garden, Florida 34787. Just, send it from Sushi Jackknife on the return address.
Tell them I say hello.
As the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in my hand. Jeremiah 18:6 from the KJV.
Before we go,
okay,
I have a few verses I'd like to pitch to them to throw in there.
All right.
Just because I would like to see the look on people's faces
when they get their tea.
When they open up their tea.
Yeah, I think that's good.
1 Timothy 2:12. I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. She must be silent. So that's a good one. Throw in an Exodus 22:18. Do not allow a sorceress to live. This one, it would start out like the look on people's faces would be nice until they got to the end of the verse. Like it would be like a very peaceful, oh, that's really wise. And then they'd go, oh! Psalm 137:9. Happy is he who repays you for what you have done to us. He who seizes your infants and dashes them against the rocks. And of course, the classic 1 Peter 2:18. Slaves, submit yourself to your master with all respect, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the cruel.
Sushi Jackknife.
Sushi Jackknife. I'm just saying, if they did that, they'd sell so many more. So many more teas.
So many teas.